Okay, picture this. It's, I don't know, a Tuesday night. You've had a long day. Maybe you're just sitting down to dinner, and your phone rings.
Mm,
You glance at the screen. And usually, if it's a number you don't know, you ignore it, right?
of course. Straight to voicemail.
But this time, the screen says Social Security Administration. Or maybe it's the name of your bank.
It's the ultimate foot in the door moment, isn't it?
It is. You see that name, and your brain it switches gears. You pick up, you say, hello, expecting some, administrative thing. You let your guard down.
Because the technology, your own phone just told you it was safe.
Exactly.
And that specific moment, that split second where you sort of exhale and trust what's on the screen, that is exactly what these attackers are banking on. Because it is not a wrong number. It isn't your bank.
It's a scam. A very specific type of social engineering scam.
Right.
And that's what we're doing a deep dive into today. A phenomenon that turns, really, one of our most trusted devices against us. We're talking about vishing.
Vishing, which is just shorthand for voice phishing.
I feel like most of us have developed a pretty decent radar when it comes to email phishing.
Yeah, we know the drills.
We know the drills. Look for weird typos, hover over the sender address to see if it's just a bunch of gibberish. We've trained ourselves to be skeptical of the inbox. But a phone call, I don't know, that just hits different.
It creates an immediate visceral connection. Vishing takes the scam out of the inbox where it's easy to just hit delete and it puts it right into your ear. It's using phone calls, voice messages.
To trick you.
To trick victims. And looking at the research we have for today, what really stands out is the sophistication. This isn't just random dialing anymore. It's a coordinated attack on your perception of reality.
And that's what we want to unpack. Our mission for this deep dive is to understand how criminals use your own phone to steal sensitive info or money. Why it works so well on a psychological level, because it really does seem to hack our brains, and most importantly, how to spot it before you do something you can't undo. So let's start with the basics. Who are these people pretending to be?
Well, if we look at the source material, the disguises are very specific. And they're all designed to be authoritative. They aren't pretending to be some random stranger.
Right, they're institutions you either trust or fear.
Exactly. Institutions you trust implicitly or institutions you really don't want to get a call from.
So the heavy hitters.
The heavy hitters.
Yeah.
We see a massive amount of impersonation of bank representatives. That's the classic because it involves your money, so they get your attention instantly.
Sure.
But they also pose as government agencies.
Which immediately raises the stakes.
Okay.
You see IRS or tax authority on your screen, and your heart rate warms a little bit. Even if you know you paid your taxes, there's that little voice that goes, uh-oh.
It does. It triggers anxiety. Then you've got the whole IT support angle, often pretending to be from a major tech company.
Right.
And finally, just well-known household brands, delivery services, major retailers. The common thread is that these are all entities you normally interact with. You expect them to have your data.
Okay, but here's where I get a little stuck and where I think a lot of people might be skeptical. If my phone screen says my bank, I believe it. Caller ID feels like a fact. How are they making the phone lie to me?
This is the key. This is the technological trick that makes vishing so incredibly dangerous. It's called caller ID spoofing.
Spoofing. I've heard the term, but break that down for us. Is this some high-level, complex hack?
Surprisingly, no. It's disturbingly easy to do. Essentially, attackers use voice-over IP technology, internet calling, which allows them to manipulate the data packets they send to the phone network.
So they can just type in whatever they want.
They can type in whatever information they want to display on your caller ID.
So it's like writing a fake return address on an envelope.
That's a perfect analogy. The call might be coming from a scam center halfway across the world, but they just type in the local number for your bank branch or the official 1-800 number for the IRS.
And that's what shows up on my screen.
That is what your screen displays. The telephone network just passes the info along to you without checking it.
That is actually terrifying because we use that screen as our first line of defense. We treat caller ID like a fact checker, but it's really just a messenger.
Precisely. And this trick, it bypasses your initial skepticism. If the number showed up as unknown, you probably wouldn't answer.
No way.
But because it looks official, you pick up. And once you pick up, the technology's done its job. Now the social engineering begins.
So they've used the tech to get their foot in the door. Once they have you on the line, what's the end game? What are they trying to get?
The ask usually falls into a few categories, and they've gotten really clever. One of the most common right now is the request for one-time passcodes. OTPS.
Ah, you mean those 6-digit codes you get texted to log in somewhere? The two-factor authentication stuff?
Yes. And this is crucial because people think, well, I have two-factor, so I'm safe. But here's the scenario. If a caller is asking for that code, it almost always means they already have your password.
Wait, really?
Think about it. Why does the system send you a code? Because someone just typed in your username and password correctly. The attacker is likely at a computer trying to log into your account at that very moment.
So the call isn't the start of the hack, it's the final step. They're already at the gate.
They are at the gate, they've hit a wall, and that wall is the OTP. The only thing stopping them is that little code on your phone, if you read it out loud.
You're basically unlocking the deadbolt and letting them in.
Wow, you are.
That completely reframes the whole interaction.
It does, but they're also looking for direct financial access. They might ask for credit card numbers or full banking details to verify your identity.
Verify. That's such a loaded word in these scams.
It's a magic word. It frames the whole thing as a security protocol, not a theft. I just need to verify you are the account holder. It sounds so routine.
So bureaucratic.
And then they might go for direct money transfers or, and this is the one that always baffles people, asking you to buy gift cards.
The gift card thing. I never get that. Who thinks the government accepts payment in iTunes cards?
But if you're panicked enough, logic goes out the window. And gift cards are untraceable cash. Once you read those numbers off the back, the money is just gone.
Wow.
And lastly, there's the request to install remote access software.
Oh, this is the IT support angle, right? Let me jump on your PC and fix the virus for you.
Exactly. We detected a glitch. Or, your computer's sending out spam. They'll ask you to download a tool like TeamViewer or AnyDesk, which are legitimate tools, by the way,
Sure.
so they can fix it. But if you agree to that, you are giving them complete administrative control over your device. Everything.
It's like inviting a burglar into your house, making them a sandwich, and then leaving the room.
And giving them the combination to the wall safe on your way out.
Okay, so we know who they pretend to be, we know what they want, but I want to get into the how. The specific scripts they use, because these aren't improvised, are they? They have lines they use over and over because they work.
Oh, absolutely. These are professional operations. They have flowcharts and scripts on screens in front of them. And analyzing these scripts, it really helps us see the patterns.
Let's run through them. Scenario 1, the bank fraud team. This one seems to be everywhere.
Right. The line is usually something like, this is the bank fraud team. We've detected unauthorized charges. Confirm your details now to stop them.
It's so aggressive. It's not, hi, how are you?
There's no time to breathe. It's an immediate demand. They create a problem fraud and immediately offer themselves as the only solution. But the condition is you must provide the info now.
It forces you into a reactive state.
Exactly.
Okay, scenario 2, the government threat. Your tax file number has been suspended.
This one is just pure fear. The word suspended implies you've done something wrong, that you've lost your civil identity. It makes it a legal problem.
And people panic.
People hear tax, government, suspended, and the rational part of their brain just shuts down. They want to fix it.
I don't want to go to jail. Just tell me what to do. What about this third one? We detected suspicious activity on your account. It sounds similar to the bank one, but the tone feels different.
It is. It's a very clever variation. In this script, the attacker positions themselves as the protector. They're the good guy calling to save you.
Oh, that's insidious. So you feel like you're on the same team.
Exactly. We saw something weird. We just want to help you secure your hard-earned money. It exploits your gratitude. It makes you feel thankful, which makes you much more compliant.
And the last one, the tech support trap. Your computer has been hacked. Let us fix it.
This one creates a problem you didn't even know you had. Your computer seems fine, but this expert on the phone says it's compromised. You doubt your own eyes.
Because they sound so technical, they use jargon.
They do. It's a form of gaslighting, really.
That brings us to something I find really interesting. Why does this work so well? I mean, if I got an email saying your tax number is suspended, I'd probably delete it. But on the phone, people crumble. Why is the phone their weapon of choice?
This is where we get into the psychological warfare of it all. The source material points out a fundamental truth. A human voice builds trust and pressure in a way that text just can't.
It's biological, isn't it? We're wired to respond to other voices.
We are social animals. For thousands of years, voice meant tribe. Voice meant safety or immediate danger. It creates a connection. It's so much harder to ignore a human being speaking to you than it is to ignore text on a screen.
And they use specific tactics.
They use 3 psychological levers: urgency, fear, and authority.
Urgency seems to be the common thread in all of these.
Do this end now. They weaponize time. In an email, you have time. You can go make a coffee, come back, Google it. On a call, silence is awkward. You feel compelled to answer.
That's so true. It's physically uncomfortable not to answer a direct question on the phone.
It is. And then they layer on fear. Your account is compromised. The police are on their way.
And that just shuts down your logic center.
Fear triggers the amygdala, the fight or flight response. When that kicks in, your frontal cortex, the part responsible for critical thinking, effectively takes a back seat. You're not analyzing, you're just trying to survive the call.
And the third one? Authority.
This is the government, this is the bank. We are socially conditioned to respect authority figures. We're trained to be polite, to be cooperative.
To hang up just feels rude. It feels wrong.
It does, and that's another thing, the way they speak. You might picture a scammer sounding, I don't know, shady or nervous.
Right, like a bad actor in a movie.
And that's a dangerous misconception. The source notes that these callers sound confident. They sound polished and authoritative. They sound like professionals in a call center.
They sound corporate.
They do. They often have background noise playing that sounds like a busy office. They use the right jargon. They know the internal procedures of the bank they're pretending to be.
So they sound exactly like the real thing.
And that confidence is key. Because they sound so sure of themselves, you start to question yourself instead. You think, I must have missed something, not this guy is lying.
Which brings up that speed factor again. The tempo.
Yes. On a call, you can't pause to fact check. You feel rushed. And people who feel rushed are so much less likely to verify claims. You combine that rush with the spoof number so it looks real and the confident voice. It just overwhelms your critical thinking defenses.
It's a perfect storm designed to bypass your logic.
It is.
So we're up against spoof numbers, professional-sounding actors, and our own biology. Feels a bit like the deck is stacked. But we're not helpless. Let's talk out the shield. How do we protect ourselves?
The most effective defense is also the simplest, but it's the one people struggle with the most because it feels socially wrong.
What is it?
Hang up.
Hang up. No polite goodbye.
Just hang up. If you get an unexpected call asking for sensitive info, hang up. You don't need to apologize. You don't need to make an excuse. You just end the connection.
But what if, and I know listeners are thinking this, what if it is my bank? What if my account really is compromised and I just hung up on the fraud department? That fear is real.
That is the specific worry that keeps people on the line. But here is the callback rule. If you're worried it might be real, hang up and then you find the official number for that organization yourself.
From the back of your credit card or their official website.
Exactly. And you call them back.
Do not use the number that just called you.
Never. Because of spoofing, hitting redial might just connect you right back to the scammer, and never use a number the caller gives you. Find the source yourself.
So if it was a real call from my bank and I call back on the main line,
the person you reach will see a note on your account. They'll say, oh yes, we were trying to reach you. And you can resolve it then. If it was a scam, they'll tell you there's nothing wrong and you just saved yourself a disaster.
That is such a solid rule. It takes all the uncertainty out of it.
Yeah.
You deal with it on your own terms.
Act, you don't react. You take control of the channel.
Are there any hard and fast rules? Things we should just never, ever do?
Yes. 2 absolutes from the source material. First, never share passwords over the phone. A real organization will never ask for your password, period.
And the second?
Never share one-time codes. Those OTPs, I can't stress this enough, those codes are for you to type into a screen, not to read out loud. If someone asks for that code, it is a giant red flag.
It's the sound of a lock being picked.
It is.
What about tone? We talked about how they use fear. Is that a tell we can listen for?
It is. Be very cautious of urgent or threatening language. Real organizations rarely threaten you instantly. The IRS isn't Paul and scream that you're going to jail in 5 minutes.
Right. Legitimate bureaucracy is usually much slower, much calmer, and honestly, much more boring.
Exactly. Boredom is usually safer than drama in this context. If the call feels like a movie scene with a ticking clock, it's a scam.
So if you feel like you're in an action movie, hang up.
Hang up.
Is there anything we can do proactively before the phone even rings?
You can register your number with Do Not Call services. Now, let's be realistic, this won't stop criminals. But it reduces the overall volume of unsolicited calls.
That makes sense. It clears the noise so you can spot the signal.
Right. But the mental preparation is the most important part. Just knowing that vishing exists, knowing that the caller ID can lie to you, that kills the automatic trust response.
So let's wrap this up. What's the big picture here?
The big picture is that vishing works because it exploits the seams between technology and human nature. It uses social engineering to manipulate your emotions, spoofing to manipulate your trust in tech, and a live human voice to bypass your logic.
It's not a wrong number. It's a calculated assault on your trust.
It is. And I think the final takeaway for the listener is something we touched on earlier. In the age of vishing, your politeness is a vulnerability. We're raised to be polite. But when your safety is at risk, you have permission to be rude.
Permission to be rude. I love that.
You have permission to hang up. Your bank account doesn't care if you were polite to the thief.
We've covered a lot, from the technical tricks to the psychological ones, but I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over. We are biologically wired to trust a human voice. It's an instinct that goes back to the beginning of our species. Voice meant tribe. Voice meant safety.
Right. It's a conflict between our nature and our digital environment.
Exactly. So the next time the phone rings and the person on the other end sounds urgent, confident, and maybe a little scary, will you trust your ears or will you trust your gut? That's it for this deep dive. Stay safe out there.
Stay skeptical.
See you next time.